someone, losing the enthusiasm to live and taking life instead of a gift and taking it as a burden. And then anxiety talks about people being anxious about their future. When will I get healed? When will this disease when will I recover from this disease? How will I be able to take care of my children? It affects you in so many ways. There's also what we call physical limitation. Someone who has stroke, it is not really normal for them to do what they used to do before. So when we're talking about limiting yourself physically, someone might be an outgoing person. And once you have this kind of a disease, you cannot do that anymore. You see? So you'll be limited physically. And that comes by not going, engaging with friends, not, doing some of the things that you considered fun. So stroke can limit you, and that will also bring something we call isolation. You'll start isolating yourself because you're like, I'm not like them, they're not like me, I cannot do what they are doing, and all those things. And there's also the financial and the right resources. So it will bring about financial stress and social stress, as we have said. You will find that you're not hanging out with friends as you used to. You'll find that your social circle has actually reduced because, there are not so many people who will keep up checking up on you. And so when you look at all these things, you'll understand that it is important for these stroke patients to be aware of their mental health, to be able to get someone or get a friend or a counselor to be able to help them through this process. When there is depression, when there is anxiety, when there is they need an awareness, or they need someone to be able to help these people to deal with such situations.
And of course, many a times when you're an outspoken person, you're someone that when we embrace now the discussion on really understanding the concept of mental health towards stroke patients, there's also the aspect on stigmatization, which is really intense. So how does stigmatization comes? They want the fact that
some people may not understand why, for example, stroke patient is talking about mental health. You have one condition and you're talking about another. And such ignorance is some of the things that mental health. And then there is no education, there's no awareness about these things. And you'll find out that all these patients, leave alone the stroke patient, even the patients who have chronic illnesses, they are not able to express themselves as they used to, especially when they've been diagnosed with particular disease. So you'll find people somehow they pity them. People somehow push them away. You'll find that people are just pitying them, and they're just treating them like eggshells, and you will find this patient, even actually according to how people are behaving and how people are acting towards them, you realize that they have started now to isolate themselves, and they have started now to do other things that they think they are healthy, but in long run, those things are also affecting their mental health.
All right, well said and stated. Now, stroke is a significant cause of mortality in Kenya, ranking as the leading cause of death and contributing to a considerable portion of all deaths in the country. 1 out of 183 nations for stroke-related deaths. That is just an overview of the statistic right here in the Republic. Now, the case stroke statistics and of course risk factors. Now, stroke remains the leading cause of deaths in Kenya. While specific prevalences figures for Kenya Stroke Organization indicates that 1 in 4 people above the age of 25 will experience a stroke in their lifetime. So even as we speak about the 25, and of course many will say
mental health, I according to that age group comes about being affected with things like societal expectations, the pressure of life, unemployment, a lack of education, all those things. And I believe say about 12 or 10 all the way to late 40s or early 50s. Yes.
All right. So let's now embrace this conversation on now mental health, specifically towards any kind of patients, more so those patients that have very hard diseases, very chronic diseases to mention. Many will understand the context on diseases like ukimwi and then saratani.
Yeah.
They'll really understand that. So even to help us shift the conversation on mental health towards these particular patients, what are the basic things to really consider?
Basic things when it comes, let's say, dealing with mental health.
Indeed.
One of the things that is highly advised or advocated for is professional support.
Indeed.
We are talking about counselors, we're talking about therapists, getting people who you can talk to.
Indeed.
There are many people who don't want to talk to friends, they don't want to talk to you get professional help. That is someone who will help you deal with your emotions, deal with stress, deal with anxiety. Another thing, it is to build a very supportive system. That is parents, brothers, friends, colleagues. Just have people around you who are able to motivate you, who are able to give you the right energy that you deserve. You see, there is a quote that says that company looks for misery. But when we are talking about mental health, we say that we are forming groups or we are advising people to get into support groups because you will need encouragement from someone who is going through what you're going through. Even if we are in the same state mentally, someone has advanced probably a step, they have known something, and they can help us to also help us go to that next level. Another thing I recommend personally to it is very important, especially if you are going through these chronic diseases and everything. Develop a culture of writing or journaling your emotions, your feelings and everything. You may not be able to get to a professional counselor. You may not be able to have that much supportive team around you, but you can help yourself by just writing down whatever it is that you're feeling. And as you go by day, writing everything that you're feeling, your thoughts, putting them on paper, you realize there are things that you're dealing with and there are things that you're actually overcoming.
So help us understand the difference between mental health status on someone that is fully well-being and someone that is sick.
For someone who is well-being, like they have no issue, mental health to them. They are able to make sound decisions. They are able to be calm in case there is able to relate with other people well without anger issues, without rushing out on people. That is someone who is emotionally grounded. Like this is someone who will think before they act. This is someone who will think before they respond. This is someone who has like a routine, as I'm saying. They wake up at a particular time. There is what they do. They go to gym. There is balanced diet and everything. When it comes to social affiliations, this is someone who has healthy friendships and relationships. In comparison to someone who is having these chronic diseases or his or her mental health is not well, this person will not be able to associate with people. Talked about isolation. So this person will always look for a reason why he cannot belong and not a reason why to belong. mental health crisis, they are not able to make sound decisions. These are decisions that are influenced by emotion, maybe people's reaction. These are people who can rush out, and when you look at the situation, you are like, enyewe, you are not supposed to respond the way you did. But when you look deep, you will see there is an underlying issue. So someone who is suffering from mental health, it affects their mood swings. Like, you know, some days they are happy, some days they are angry, some days they are nice to you, there are days they are rude. It will affect you physically, you know, you will not have the enthusiasm to do life. If you are someone who used to go to gym, you don't have that enthusiasm anymore. If you're someone who used to read books, that zeal, that you know, it has died. If you're someone who like used to hang out with friends, you used to enjoy the company of people, you'll find yourself isolating yourself. So there are a lot of things that you can look at, even at a personal level, to see yourself whether you are heading on that direction or your mental health is actually deteriorating.
All right.
Yes.
So you've mentioned about emotional and changes and personal behaviors. Of course, just to remind the audience on the issue on stroke, of course, you have personality and behavioral changes, which also applies into the conversation on stroke, that can cause changes in personality, including impulsiveness, apathy, irritability, and difficulty controlling emotions. So many times mnaweza concentrating and challenges with planning and problem solving. It is 17 minutes past 9 a.m. So what are some of the things to consider when I know I'm sick? And I understand that this is a very tough disease to handle. So what are some of the things that you as mental advocates tell these patients?
One thing, actually you need to have time with yourself so that you are able to understand yourself well. There is no way I can come and tell you you are depressed. You know, and when you look at yourself, you're like, I am not. You see, you need to first of all have a conversation with yourself. What are some of the things that I used to do, or some of the things that I used to enjoy, or what really gave me purpose in life? You see, so when you understand that, you'll be able now to see, for example, if you have not been reading books or journaling or you know, having conversations with people, then that says you are somehow isolating yourself. And as I've said, as I was starting, you start taking life as a curse, as a burden, instead of enjoying it. So, yes, yes, unajilaumu. So one thing I actually advocate for is to not allow your situation define you or dictate what you will do. What do I mean? There are people who find themselves with these diseases and they feel like that's the end of life. You know, there is nothing good that can come out of them. There is nothing good that and so instead of walking towards healing, they walk towards deteriorating of their health. And along the way, if you are not taken care of or you don't take care of yourself, you'll find things like self-harm, suicidal thoughts, you know, all those things. So one thing I recommend personally is to look for things that will begin now. Physically, you are being limited. Whether you are a footballer, you are someone who used a lot of energy, you cannot be able to do that. Now look for something else that can help you, you know, in that state. Maybe you are not working, maybe you know, you are not functioning well. Look for something like reading books, look for something like calling friends to play games. You see, it will give you another opportunity, like to enjoy, be more eager to meet your friends and to have a good time. When you talk about someone who is HIV positive, you see, that is only you. You are the only one who knows your status. I cannot look at you and say, you know, you are HIV positive. You see, you cannot. Unless now the body structure and everything is affected. But when you know that you are HIV positive, then you, instead of allowing that situation define you, like you can now start awareness campaigns. Let people know about HIV. Go to schools, teach these young people, go around the streets, talk about not your condition, but what you are suffering from. Because I have a better understanding of something because maybe I'm going through it, or I went through it and I overcame. So look for things that will give you meaning and purpose. And another thing, prioritize on professional help.
Indeed.
Yes.
Solution-based healing. That means, yes, I know I'm sick, and many other, the society knows that I'm sick.
Yes.
But it's me that is suffering. So I try as much as possible to get a solution towards my path, healing. No.
Yes.
And that is why they said that cancer is not a death sentence, but there are things that can really assist you in maybe the line of treatment.
Yes.
So we're speaking about also stroke and maybe any other underlying causes. We spoke about the brain damage and trauma and stress.
Yeah.
Of course, the main one was physical limitations and dependence. So there are many things that you can't do with alone.
Yes.
So stroke can lead, of course, to dependence on others and reduce independence, which can further contribute to mental health challenges, which obviously kila mtu anaweza relate not the same.
Yes.
So we have types of stroke that studies in Kenya indicate that most stroke cases are decayed with a female predominance among stroke patients in most studies, particularly in rural hospitals. Now, studies in Kenya also indicate that most stroke cases are ischemic, that is 48 to 85%, with hemorrhagic strokes ranging from 8.8 to 52%. Now, hospitalized and mortality. In most hospital and mortality rates due to stroke in Kenya range from 5 to 27%, with 1 month mortality rates between 23.4 and 26.7%. Now, limited access to stroke care, of course, we've embraced that in the best way possible. Even as we near the short break, Kanotha, what will be your preference? Yes, we've really embraced that this is the solution. This is what the doctors are saying. This is they're just okay. So in order to make sure that our mind is stable and strong to the near future, what are some of the things to really take
in what ways? One, look at how you are reasoning. You see?
Indeed.
How you are making decisions. Look at how you are feeling emotionally. Are you having an emotional burden? Are you overwhelmed? You see, when you see all these things, you are in a position to know what I'm supposed to do, and that is what I am saying.
Mood swings.
Yes, mood swings as well, because you know it's also part of a mental health disorder when we're talking about emotional. So
you have to, how will you balance?
You know, you'll be happy, you'll be excited, but we're talking about, you know, there are people who get angry even for the slightest things.
Yep.
Like, you passed me, you didn't say hi, someone gets mad, someone gets furious, and the whole of the day they will not talk to you. You see, when you look at that, that tells you that this person is having a lot of emotional baggages and burdens, and they are going through something that you cannot tell. You see, so it is important, always check yourself. Before we come to create awareness or to tell people what to do, how am I feeling? How am I relating with people?
All right.
How am I carrying out myself? Like, how is my routine? How am I associating with people? How am I at my workplace?
Indeed.
You see? How am I relating with my family members, my co-workers, and everyone around me?
Indeed.
So it is important you first check yourself. Always be in check. You know, be in check of your emotions, be in check of the choices that you're taking, and you'll be able to know where, you know, there is a miss and where there is
so we just give them chance to, you know, approve their mood swings to us, then now later on we'll get a solution.
That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
If it's coming from me, if I'm the person who is having mood swings, you know, I have two choices. To bring it out to you, like I rub it on you, or to deal with it myself. You get what I'm saying? So it is the choices that we make.
So most of the time it's pouring it to others.
Most of the times. Most of the times.
Indeed.
You'll find that people are not able to deal with their own emotions. You see?
Okay.
When someone is frustrated, they want to bring all that, you know, tension and everything to you.
Sawa sawa. So Thanks for that. Of course, because I've embraced that and know Dante Max knows what I'm saying. Then when we come back after this break, we'll get an emphasis on treatment and support, and of course to really embrace the advocacy and also to understand what does depression and anxiety Kenya does. So don't go too far. This is the Morning Drift.
If you want to have a proper outlook of the economy, then you have to speak to the walls and gears of the integral businesses in the country.
And I want to be able to make the youths and everybody coming up in Kenya know that this is here locally.
Men and women in the thick of the bust of markets rising and falling, fighting to make their business decisions stick.
I've always lived in my
sense of it all.
Just watch what everybody else is doing and just make sure you're giving back to the society.
Oof. This is the Captain's Arena.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu, kwa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Start your day with a workout routine, an exciting moment of exercise that is simple but powerful for your ultimate fitness. Build your strength, shape and body muscles with lunges, push-ups, squats, burpees, planks, dumbbells and more. Let's work out every Monday to Saturday from 6:30 a.m. on Fitness Zone, a one surefire way to attack your fitness regimen effectively.
Welcome back. You're watching the Morning Drift. It's 9:30. Of course, we're embracing the conversation on mental health awareness. Earlier on, we had mentioned a few things on stroke. And remember, since it's May and awareness is being done across the country and I believe across the globe. So even as the Morning Drift, we're embracing the same taste on awareness. Now, we now want to delve on mental health. But before that, allow us now to read some underlying treatment methods, of course, and support, that is counseling and therapy. We have medications and physical therapy and rehabilitation, support groups and networks, which will assist these stroke patients to get really and embrace support in the best way. So they seek support as early as now, so that this is the beginning of a new change or beginning of their treatment in one way or the other. And of course, we had mentioned earlier, and remember also earlier, these security concerns are concentrated on, but we believe in the near future we'll have that message home, and ataweza kupata nafuu vile inafaa. All right, so we're embracing now mental health. Of course, we delve on emotional and psychological and social well-being. So mental health encompasses how we feel, think, and interact. But allow us now to delve on matters advocacy. So what really do we consider when we embrace now mental health as a country, of course as a globe, in the purposes of advocacy?
When we're talking about advocacy, I think it's important, and now is the right time to put more emphasis on creating awareness. As we said, as we are beginning, not many people who have any idea what mental health is. Someone might be going through an illness or maybe some type of a mental health case, and they are not even aware. The society itself does not even, you know, have an idea of what we are talking about. Go to places like, for example, Ukambani, Moyale, go to places like the interior areas. You'll find that those people don't even have any idea what mental health is all about. So when we're talking about advocacy, let us create awareness. First of all, as individuals. Let us be mindful of people surrounding us. Let us be mindful of, you know, our own self. Let us be able to have this conversation, even at a workplace setup. Let us have conversation. Let us have, you know, sessions whereby we are educating our employees on mental health. You'll be surprised to know not many workplaces have a counselor. And you know, if you're talking about embracing mental health, it's important that every workplace, there is that need of a counselor. Because, you know, family stress, work stress, economical stress, I mean, everyone is stressed up. And we need people, safe spaces whereby we can go and have conversation about how we are feeling and how we are faring on. So that is one. Individually, we need to be mindful of people surrounding us and also on ourselves. When it comes to the government, my own idea would be like incorporating mental health, you know, in the curriculum. Let people, don't just tell us about the pulmonary artery and everything, and you know, you're not preparing us even emotionally and psychologically for the things that are ahead of us. So for the young people who are in school, I think it's important they have those sessions whereby they are being taught on mental health and they are encouraged to have this conversation. When it comes to community, we need to have people who have either volunteered or are on salary to talk about mental health. This is a community-based approach. Talk to villagers, organize seminars. You know, not just for, you know, when schools or during the holidays, most people concentrate on, you know, spiritual aspect of it, and they forget the mental and the emotional part of it. So it is important to create awareness, have those seminars, bring on board stakeholders and private, you know, people and companies to help us create more awareness on mental health.
I'm happy that you mentioned something on counselor, and I believe, of course, my team comes to me as a counselor, and I believe I'm doing a good job on the same. That's why if you've looked at the environment that we are in, my team is mentally active and mentally stable.
That means you are doing a very good job.
Indeed.
And keep up.
To add on this particular show is, you know, impactful as well.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for bringing that on. Now, what types of mental health conditions, challenges do you have you've experienced in the line of your advocacy?
Mostly, that will be something to do with anxiety.
Indeed.
Anxiety. Things to do with depression, that talks on the mood aspect of it. there is PTSD. You'll find that you are having, or you're talking to a lot of people who have, PTSD. There are a lot of people who have gone through trauma.
Indeed.
And they are really working towards healing or working towards, overcoming it. So majorly, I would say depression and anxiety is actually one of the leading mental health sicknesses that we are having.
You've gone to a society, a community that you were told that wako na tatizo. Then now you bringing your advocacy to that. Have you ever experienced such a challenge to administer advocacy in those locations that wataki is a story?
Yes. We have gone to a place, and we had set up everything. We had counselors on board. We had clinical officers. Doctors.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was like a camp. And then we start talking about other things. We start talking about cancer, prostate cancer, kidney failure, all this chronic disease, diabetes, everything.
Indeed.
But when we begin to have conversation on mental health, people started asking themselves, sisi si wagonjwa, ni ya wenda wazimu. Na ukianza kutuongelesha hivi unatuita wenda wazimu. So you'll get to a place like people have, people are happy, for example, to see a whole camp. We are checking eyes, we are talking about other diseases, lifestyle diseases. And then when we begin to have conversation on mental health, watu wanaanza tu kuondoka. Moja moja. And that is the notion. People say that mental health ni ya wale wenda wazimu. Enda uchukue hao wenda wazimu wote wako kwa street, au ndo they deserve, or they are supposed to hear such conversation. But that is not the case. You will get to a very hostile environment. And you see, even at that particular point, you'll still push the agenda of creating awareness. Because in the midst of all those people who are causing chaos, there are 2 or 3 people who want to hear, what is this mental health? What is it all about? And we cannot just give up because the larger group does not want to hear about. So we focus on the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, or even the 10.
But right here in the country, I believe everyone is affected mentally.
Yes.
Because of the situations in the country and everyday pros that are happening. Someone's asking, so what, in your opinion, do you think the society views mental and physical health differently? Why or why not?
I believe so. They see it differently. Physically, when I look at you, you are healthy.
Amazing.
You see? People might confuse that with mental wellness. You see? If I look at you right now, I cannot tell whether you have suicidal thoughts as we are talking right now.
Indeed.
I cannot tell whether you are having, depression, and you are anxious about something. I cannot tell until I pay close attention. And that is one of the things that actually makes people think, this mental health, it is not as important as physical health. Because they want to see you, lifting weights, jogging, dipping your face in some ice water. They want to see you. But when you are talking about taking care of your mental health, they don't understand. They are looking at you like, uko sawa. You see? And so they will perceive physical health differently from mental health. Because kila mtu anataka watu wa machuma, watu wa kujog, but hawataki watu, they are sitting down, they are journaling, they are taking care of themselves, they are rehearsing stress management techniques. So yeah. Yes.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about social relationship in mental well-being and mental understanding. I've been telling people that I have a wife, and I realized that many would have wanted to follow the same path. Then so to embrace this conversation, they felt like also they wanted to marry as well. Little did they know the challenge that comes with it.
Yes.
In that particular space. And of course, little they know about stories and heartbreak and many other things.
Yes.
So there's someone that has been broken right now, and really wants to say, si alikata wacha aende. So how will these people cope in that space here, social relationship, you know, anaona sasa men are dogs and ladies are something else.
Yes. Well, I think that is a very good question, especially for our generation and the age bracket that we are in. You see, personally, I believe that there are some things that are part of life. Like there are some things one has to go through. Not to some extent, like it would cost you your life, your health, and everything. There are those healthy breakups, and there are those ones. You see, for someone who is going through a heartbreak, they will always look for the reasons. Not many people will say, it is me. They will always say, ni wewe.
Shida ni wewe.
You see, shida ni wewe. And that is to say that they're ignoring the fact that, sorry, they're ignoring the fact that maybe I was the problem. Maybe I am the problem. And instead of pointing a finger to that person, what is amiss with me?
But when ladies want to leave you, they say, shida si wewe.
It is just something for, it is like an easy route. You see, like not very few people will sit down and have a healthy conversation on why we should break up or why this relationship should end. Very few people. Others watakuita, mkunywe coffee, and then they will tell you, you know, I've been thinking, I want to advance in my career, you know, nini. And that is not the case. You see, you end up bringing harm to someone who had the right intention. And that is why I'm saying you first need to reflect on yourself. What is a problem? What did I learn out of this? You see, we said, let us not allow what we are going through define who we are or how we react. So if you're going through a heartbreak right now, sit down with yourself. It's okay. This relationship has ended. What did I learn? How can I improve myself? And what are the things to look out for in the next relationship so that I will not again repeat the same cycle again?
All right, so so one in a line, there are 5 maybe relationships that someone has undergone, and maybe thinks that the 6th one now will be a sense of perfection. So inamaanisha atakuwa na wachumba wengi sana. Na vile vile pia, or in regards to that question, I would really like to ask a personal question in regards to a relationship. A lady loves you so much, na nataka mnaweza embrace, you know, the discussion, but wewe sasa bado only kama you guys can have a thing and then fall in love.
Mostly, you know, there are those people who will come in that line. They're like, oh, mimi niko na issues, nini, my parents, sijui nini. Everyone around them is a problem, apart now from you. And you see, they are just going through that so that at the end of it, they can trap you. So personally, what I do, I will listen to the tone of your messages or the tone of your conversation. I will just interrogate you kidogo, and then I can tell you this for a fact. There is no one whom I have engaged that, you know, someone like we have prolonged conversation on mental health. Oh, you are going through stress, you are going through depression. Oh, I have a counselor who can help you in that. I forward your name, I forward the number, then they follow up. Then I will be following it up from the counselor and not from you. If indeed you really wanted help, that you'll embrace that path. But if you had something else in mind, utaanza pia kuleta makasiriko, na things and everything. So yes.
All right. So how do you ensure that the advocacy you provide is person-centered, meets my individual needs and preferences?
We have a team that, you know, is counselors and psychologists and everything who offer free counseling. So we will have conversation. I'll get to know, okay, you are going, when it comes to me now creating awareness, I will be specific. Like this month I'll focus on this. For example, let's say we are talking about depression, and you will see out of that conversation, there are people who are suffering from that illness that will come on board, and then I will forward them. So to make sure that it is a one-on-one, or to make sure it is, streamed down to an individual, I don't handle, or we don't handle a lot of topics. It is just one that will open a door to another, and then another.
All right, so I want us now to get to the bottom line on your authorship, and really understanding the emphasis on entire all these things, even as you share with us your book. Now, there is also a concern on the depression and anxiety Kenya.
Yes.
When we were having this conversation, kama si Kanotha, I wouldn't have known that kuna kitu kama DAK inakaa kama party of politics, but depression and anxiety Kenya. So but also find another organization and called Stress and Trauma Kenya, and many others.
Yes.
So what is the emphasis in this DAK?
The emphasis actually is on the name, depression and anxiety.
Indeed.
That is majorly what we deal with. This is an governmental organization, and our main aim is to create awareness first, and then to come now from awareness into action. And how do we go about that? I have said we have a team of counselors, therapists, psychologists, and everything, people who help us or who offer free counseling to individuals or to people who reach to us. We are not so loud outside there, but on the social media, we are very loud on our Facebook page and on our Instagram. And we've come to realize that mostly we are getting people who are coming to us on Instagram. So mostly every single day you see we have like 10, 15 people coming and talking about it. So we create awareness, and we do not leave it at awareness level. We turn awareness now into action. We simply say that we are helping you to get help. So if you can't afford counseling maybe for 10 sessions, or we'll do at particular set of sessions free, and then if you feel like you want to continue, now we can start to charge you.
All right.
Yes.
Indeed, that is the efforts, the DAK.
Yes, depression and anxiety KE. For more, if you just want to go and learn and see what we do, we are on Facebook and on Instagram, depression and anxiety KE.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Why did you prefer to be a member to that organization? As in uliona tu watu wanapata trust sana?
Not really. Back in, around 2017, 2016, 2017, I was diagnosed with depression. And at that particular time, it was really hard for me to go about this whole thing. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know, who to run to or where to get help. And along the way, one of my friends had gone through depression earlier on in life. And so when I reached out to them, they said, you know what, I know of someone who actually helps people with, free counseling. And I was like, okay. We connected, the therapy and everything. And then we sat down and my friend and we said, why can't we do this for a long time? Why can't we now help other people get help? The person helped you.
All right.
He has helped me. Why can't we now help other people? That doesn't mean we are limited. If you're having something else apart from depression and anxiety, we can always help you get help from the expert that we have on board. So it is personal to me, and I believe that is why I give it my best. And I'm always reaching out to people and helping people get help.
And I know, of course, in this conversation, you've reached out to many who would have wanted to listen to the same.
Yes.
Now, you're an author as well.
Yes.
So there is a book you have there.
Yes.
Please share with us some of the insights and the glimpse in it. And if there are more tastes in it, you can also share the vibe.
Awesome. This is my first book. It's called Echoes of Inner Self. People might think we had echoes, but this one was there before. The real echo. This talks about unmasking fear and quest for identity. Many people are struggling with fear. fear is a limiter. And many people are not able to face or to achieve certain things in life or go to the next level of their life because of something we call fear. And so this book will help you to understand the types of fear, and then will help you to understand how to deal with these kinds of fear and how you are able to overcome. When we are talking about a quest for identity, everybody wants to know, who am I? You see? And there are things that fear will limit you from discovering about yourself. So if you want to really understand yourself in a more detailed way, this is the book for you. Echoes of Inner Self. We are talking about fear, the relationship between fear and the identity, how to overcome fear, how to unmask fear, and how to really get into a position of identifying yourself or getting to know yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, and in all facets of your life. And this book actually is out. You can get a copy at Nuria bookstore in Nairobi. If you want this book, I also deliver. Head on to my Facebook page, that is Kanotha J Gatua, and on my Instagram and my TikTok, just go, tell me you need a book, we'll have a conversation on how you'll get it, and you will get your book. Now, I have another book, and this book actually, this is the first time that I'm actually unveiling it. This was supposed to be my first book, but then again something happened and we needed to upgrade or advance this book. It's called Embracing Shadows, and we're talking about a journey through depression and grief. This is my story, and I'm sharing this story on how I dealt or how I went through depression, how I went through grief, how it affected me, what I did, what I learned, and how I was able to overcome. And I know so many people would really love to get to know what is shadows, embracing shadow. How do you embrace shadows? How do I, rise up above my depression or rise up above grief? How do I become a better person? If you're struggling with depression, with grief, and you want to know more about me, my journey, how I navigated through depression and anxiety, and grief, this is the right book for you. Head on to all my social media platforms, Kanotha J Gatua, and you will be able to get this book. Again, before I forget, they can also head on to my YouTube channel. We don't just, everyone who is watching, head on to YouTube to hear more about what I do together with Depression and Anxiety Kenya.
All right, well stated, and of course I believe everyone has gotten the insight on those two lovely books, and the insight on mental health as well as the advocacy is concerned. When you mentioned about something about fear, and I think also I'm fearful to ask this. Acha nikuje karibu sasa. I fear that you mentioned something on counseling.
Yes.
And you said something on if you look someone closer, you'll know whether they are depressed or chilling in a way.
Yes.
But if it's bad, don't tell them. So see, I'm closer. What do you think?
Well, it's not like that.
Like that. Okay, that's see, much better.
It's not like that. Like I look at you, I pay attention, and I'm like, oh, this guy is
maybe
stressed.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, you see. But then there is how, if for example, we start like hanging out, having conversation. You see, I'll start to see.
Oh, so it's a process.
It's a process. You can't just look at someone and say, this guy is depressed. You see? And then if that is the case, then everyone will be going to the street, depression, anxiety, depression, OCD. You see, it's not something that you can just look. I was talking in the aspect of being king, the pattern, the routine, and everything.
Yes. Anything could have happened. So we've been engaging with Kanotha, of course, to just give us the insight on understanding mental health, and even as we create the advocacy right in the Republic, we need to seek, support, and the support system comes from these particular conversations. And I believe, of course, Jay, thank you so much for your lovely time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for embracing this conversation. Now remember, the conversation matters to you as well, because this is Health Tuesday. We've made it happen. And of course, if you are there and you have a good life, of course you have good health, so thanks to the Most High for acknowledging that fact. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we just concluded the conversation right here. And as we continue with the conversation, we believe that you are there watching with us and helping us to initiate a safe environment for a healthy well-being. Now, my name is Moses Kitch. Thank you so much for the entire team for making this happen. And I believe all the ones that we are working with are mentally stable. See you tomorrow as we now connect to the society. This is The Morning Drift.